take like 10, I don't know.
Marvel Spider-Man Finesse. By night, Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy are the superheroes known as Spider-Man and Ghost Spider. But by day, they are students, and sometimes that means homework. Today, that homework includes visiting the art museum and writing about a piece of art that inspires them. They decided to invite along their new friend Jenny, who is their age but had just graduated from MIT, a college for super smart students. She had just moved to New York, so Miles and Gwen had taken her under their wings. "What's with all the security guards?" Miles asked. The guards were everywhere, watching all of the patrons very closely. "Haven't you heard?" Jenny laughed. "There's a new thief in town named Finesse. She's been robbing museums and posting videos of it online. She says she's the fastest and most agile thief in town. She even challenged superheroes to try and catch her." "Did she now?" Gwen said. She wanted to find out more about Finesse. That night on patrol, Gwen and Miles watched Finesse's videos. She really was amazing. She spun like Black Widow. She fought like Hawkeye. She even threw a trash can lid like she was Captain America. Gwen was sure she could do better. Gwen had never met a villain she couldn't catch. "Just let me get a shot at her. I'll show her fast and agile." All of a sudden, an alarm sounded. It was the same museum they had visited that morning. "Looks like you might get your shot," Miles said. They swung off to investigate the alarm. When they arrived, there was Finesse carrying one of the priceless paintings from the new exhibit. "Hold it right there," Gwen yelled. "You're not getting away from us." Finesse smiled slyly. "I think you overestimated yourselves." A man stepped slightly out from behind a pillar. He was wearing a white costume with black spots on it. "This is the Spot," Finesse explained. "He makes portals to help me make getaways." The Spot threw one of the black spots from his own costume and it stuck to the wall. "See you later, super losers," Finesse called as she jumped straight into the black spot and disappeared. "Oh, no you don't," Gwen yelled, diving through the portal after Finesse. Miles was left face to face with the Spot. "You wouldn't want to just give up, would you?" he asked. The Spot took another black spot off of his costume and walked toward Miles. When Gwen came through the portal, she was on the rooftop. Finesse stood in front of her, grinning. "Oh, is somebody finally going to give me a challenge?" Finesse laughed, throwing a punch at Gwen's midsection. "I'm going to give you a healthy dose of consequences for your actions," Gwen said as she dodged a punch by pulling a full front flip over Finesse. Now it was Gwen's turn. She shot her webs at Finesse, but Finesse did something Gwen hadn't expected. She flipped exactly the way Gwen just had. "Anything you can do, I can learn just by seeing you do it," Finesse teased, tripping Gwen from behind. "That's my power." As for Miles, he was trying to keep from falling into spots. The Spot threw them on the floor beneath him and into the wall where he tried to land. He even threw them right at Miles. How was he supposed to stop this guy if he couldn't even land? Finally, Miles slingshot himself forward, kicking straight at Spot's face, but his foot went right through. The black spot on Spot's mask was a portal too, Miles realized, but he was already falling into it. After popping in and out of roofs and walls, Gwen had lost sight of Finesse. She scanned the roof where she had popped out. "I can't let her get away now," Gwen grumbled. Then she saw it, another portal on the rooftop. That must have been where Finesse had gone. Gwen dove through head first, and when she landed, she was in for a big surprise. A big, smelly, open dumpster waited for her. "You too, huh?" came the voice from the dumpster next to her own. It was Miles who had fallen through the portal in the Spot's mask and ended up here as well. I can't stand it, Gwen yelled. I almost had her. Next time, I'm gonna catch her. I know you want to prove you can beat her, Miles said, pulling a banana peel off his costume. But if we're going to stop these thieves, we need a plan. Miles and Gwen spent lunch the next day planning how they would handle things. When Finesse and the Spot tried to rob the museum the following day, they found Miles and Gwen waiting for them. Don't you know better than to steal ancient Egyptian artifacts, guys? Miles quipped. Yeah, that's how you get attacked by mummies, Gwen added. Finesse grinned again. Well, if you want it back, you'll have to come get it. With that, she ran for a nearby spot. She really gets on my nerves, Gwen grumbled. Stick to the plan, Miles urged. I am. Just don't let her get away. With that, Gwen shot her web line at the Spot and let Miles chase Finesse. When Finesse looked behind her, there was nobody there. Had they just decided to let her go? Why would they do that? This was so strange that Finesse, not seeing anybody chasing her, had stopped running just long enough for Miles to catch up to her. He had used his active camouflage to make himself invisible, and Finesse couldn't taunt what she didn't see. Got you. Miles reached out a hand and used his venom blast to shock Finesse. She dropped the statue, and Miles snapped it up with his hand. Meanwhile, the Spot had a much harder time slowing down the agile Gwen. Each time he threw one of his spots, she webbed it up so she wouldn't fall through. She flipped, spun, and pirouetted away from the Spot. The Spot got so frustrated that he tried to jump through one of his own portals and ended up tangled in one of Gwen's webs. The next day, Gwen read the Daily Bugle headline to Miles. The Spot captured in historic heist. Finesse flees. You're upset, aren't you? Miles asked. I let her get away to save the statue. Are you kidding? Gwen exclaimed. I couldn't have gone better. I nabbed the Spot, and I get another shot at Finesse. Next time. Shh, Miles cautioned as Jenny sat down gingerly next to Gwen, holding her shoulder. Are you okay? Miles asked Jenny. Oh, I'm fine, Jenny assured him. I just messed up my shoulder last night. It won't happen again, though.